Welcome back to Severed Sons, everyone. We are a Frostmaiden actual play D&D podcast, and we are excited to bring you tales of the Frozen North and the everlasting Rime. My name is Ron Murphy, Dungeon Master, and around the virtual table we have...
What's up, everyone? My name is Paul Gary, and I'm playing Donar, the pliable Dracodonian Green Dragonborn Monk.
Hey guys, it's Ross. I'm playing Fang, the Light Cleric Shifter.
What's up, guys? It's Blake playing Kai Raiju, the Human Rogue Monk.
Ooh.
Hello, Josh Helgeson playing Mud, the Turtle Fighter.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Zach Burrell. I'm playing Trax Barbfoot, the Artificer.
And they didn't tell you, but they're all level 2 now.
Yeah, we are.
Don't mess with us.
Well, they semi-completed a quest.
Thank
It's not
God.
turned
It was
in
a pity
yet,
level for sure.
but-
It's the first time I think I've hit level 2 with little to no combat.
We doubled our levels and by doing nothing.
Yes.
Okay, so if everyone is prepared, let's begin tonight's episode of Severed Sons, episode 4, Showdown on the Ice. Previously, acting on information of Sephic's location given to them by the dwarven bounty hunter Hiln, the party traveled to Lonelywood by way of Tourmaline. Captain Scath accompanied them, vowing to watch Kai to ensure his attendance at the sacrifice that evening. Arriving at Tourmaline, the group overheard a town crier tell a story about the local gemstone mine being closed because of monsters. The adventurers decided to stop for lunch at the East Side Tavern, where they met the teenaged innkeeper Marta, who was singing a song about a woman in red who died on the ice, a song she learned from her mother. Marta gave them stew and bread to go, and also told them that she had overheard that the monsters in the mine were kobolds, which perked Trax's interest. Heading on to Lonelywood, Mud continued to search for chewingas, and was pleased when the magic lantern began to glow green upon their arrival. Hoping that Sephic would learn of their presence, Kai made a show of escaping the sacrifice by letting Scath punch him in the face. The party was welcomed to Lonelywood by the town speaker, a halfling matriarch named Nimsy Huddle, who lured them into her home with the promise of fresh-baked cookies. Nimsy told them of a white moose who had been terrorizing the village and offered them a reward for taking care of it. Afterward, the party found Targ's merchant company set up close to Lucky Liar Tavern on the icy shore of Mare Dualdon, and saw Sephic guarding Targa, the dwarf owner of the merchant company. Kai pretended to fight Scath, but then ran away. The group confronted Sephic about the killings, and Sephic told them that even though he was born in the midwinter holiday and was blessed by the Frostmaiden, he had nothing to do with the killings, telling them he might show up at the sacrifice to face his accusers. On the way out of town, the party spotted a chewinga riding an Arctic fox and chased it into the woods. After several attempts to grab one of the mischievous spirits, Fang managed to befriend one. Traveling back to Targos, they arrived just as the midnight aurora began to fill the night sky. And that's where we left off. So you're walking up and the sky, the clouds above, as you were walking down the trail, the snowy trail to Targos, the clouds above started to dissipate, and you can see this black and stars twinkling above. There is no moon. It's you can see kind of like, you can actually see the tears of Saloon in the night sky a little bit, but for the most part, it's pitch black, other than the torches that you have in your night vision. And as you see a small group of people gathered by the ice pillar, the tinges of color begin to light the night sky and flicker and start to swirl and build until it covers the entire valley. You do not see Targ's caravan or Sephic. You do see 3 tribal warriors, all carrying spears, and you see the speaker standing on top of a hill with a man in armor standing next to him. There is a platform, a wooden platform, and a set of wooden stairs placed onto the pillar. And you see some ropes in large buckets with some barely burning coals keeping the water from freezing. What do you do?
Trax is going to toss Mud a pair of goggles, and he's going to say, "Look, I've noticed that you have trouble seeing in the dark, so I've been tinkering with these goggles. They should be able to aid you. They refract light rather than reflect it, so you should be able to see better in the dim. Just take them."
Fascinating. Thank you, Lizard.
So yes, Trax gives Mud the goggles of night.
Do they look like...
I imagine Trax is not very, he doesn't have a lot of money. He doesn't have a lot of like nice things. They're probably just some crappy goggles he picked up along the way that he's managed to tinker with.
One of them has like kind of like a crack through it. That
As he hands them over, Fang will look down and give him a little nudge on the shoulder with his hand and say, "Is that the heart I hear beating in your chest, Trax?"
Look, it's just that he's useless to us in the dark, so I thought that he would appreciate, it would be more helpful to us.
Mud has them on his eyes now, and he's like kind of trying to, like focus them, and is like looking all around. And he'll look at Donar specifically and say, "How do I look?"
Yo, dude, Donar's gonna kind of squint through his shutter shades and say, from my vantage point, you look pretty fly. Do me a favor and tell me what you see, because I also can't see shit."
I don't understand him about 90% of the time. It's just blah, 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 blah.
I could articulate and speak for a lot longer if you would like me to do that, Trax.
Oh, I caught that.
I don't think
dude.
we have time. It looks, according to the sky, it looks like the sacrifice is upon us.
Right.
And you look and you see that Scath, the captain, has walked over and is standing next to Kai, and he has his sword out. Looks like your time is up.
So, like, when you say that I have to do this naked, is there like can I have like my underwear? It's kind of embarrassing.
Auril demands the very best of our sacrifices.
Well, guess that means nude then.
I think this Auril is hitting on you, Kai.
All right.
As I'm assuming Kai, as Mud is assuming Kai is gonna pull some sort of hijinks, witnessing what happened last time, can I ready my staff to defend Kai against a sword attack? Like, can I try to block it? Is that a thing I can ready?
That's something you can do.
Cool.
But if you decide to do some other action, then you just lose that, like, ready to action, basically.
Cool. I'll do that then.
Quick question, just as Kai is kind of looking around, trying to process everything that's going on. Are there, like, townsfolk here as well?
You notice that there are not townsfolk here.
Okay.
Which is weird. You thought it would be like a well-attended...
Yeah, I thought I was going to
But it's not like
show.
an execution. Well, it's not like an execution.
Not like a witch hanging?
Yeah, it's not like people want to see this person dead.
So, like, do they throw the buckets one at a time? Is it kind of an all-on situation? What are we looking at here?
Do volunteers get to throw the bucket?
Scath says, "I'm sure we could use your help." And he kind of pushes Kai and starts heading that direction.
All right.
The tribal warriors, they don't look like barbarians. They look like just men, burly men, muscular, wearing furs and spears. They don't look like well armored, but they look big and burly.
Do they look like fighter class, or are they just like burly guys?
They're just burly guys. They might have some fighting skills, but you think you could take them. But they come over and stand in front of the platform. And the speaker and his bodyguards stay on top of the hill.
As they move forward, I look at the rest of the crew and I say, "I think we should stay on their heels. I don't want to be too far away from the action."
I agree. Perhaps a better vantage point.
Fang is gonna
move us.
walk ahead behind them and just keep a steady pace, maybe 10 feet behind.
Donar's going to follow because he has no idea what to do.
At this point, the aurora is just filling the sky. Just like, this is the most light you've seen at any point in time in the last couple of days.
Mud is doing his old man act, walking very keeping up. He's not like falling behind anymore, but he's leaning on his staff a lot.
Everybody make a perception check as you're moving across the ice.
That's going to be a 10 for Trax.
That's a hot 3 for Donar.
Mud got a dirty 20.
Sorry, Fang got a 14.
So spicy 15.
Mud, you think that you hear ice and snow being crunched to the east. Like something's out there, but you're not sure what.
Dave Frosty.
I like that.
Kai, you get up to the guards, and they take you, and they're pointing the spears at you, and the Captain Scath says, "It's time."
Okay. So I guess I disrobe here then, yeah?
Might as well get the freezing on right now.
I guess so. I'm going to pull out First, I'm going to take
Whoa!
Hey! Legendary weapon.
Pull a dagger out of my pouch and just drop it in the snow.
Okay.
So it's kind of standing straight up. And then I'm going to just slowly take off my jacket, and then I'm going to start pulling off my little crop top situation and be like, are you really just going to watch the whole time?
If you run, I have to be ready for it.
Oh, I see. And I take it off. Pants off. Whew, that's brisk.
And it is very, very cold out here.
I was in the pool.
It's very cold out here. It's almost negative 40 Fahrenheit. You've got really warm clothes on, but if you spent much more time out here, you would not be happy at all. I have to have you start making saving throws, and it would be bad. Kai, so the guards kind of take you each by an arm and take you up to the platform.
Okay. As I'm walking up, what does the rope situation look like?
There is a wall of ice kind of behind it, and they've got the rope kind of around it.
Okay.
It's not like one big large pillar. It's like mounds.
Okay.
So it's uneven. So they've got the rope around one of the pillars, small pillars, and they're going to tie you to it. It looks like.
Okay. Okay. This is getting real complicated, but how is the rope secured, and how high is the pillar?
The pillar probably goes 10 feet above. Sorry, you're about 5 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet?
6 feet.
6 feet. It goes about 15, so it's about 9 to 10 feet above your head total.
Okay.
The rope, it looks like the rope will be attached to each of your hands.
Well, that's not ideal.
As the guards take Kai by their arms, Fang will step forward toward the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just raise a hand and he'll say, "Speaker Nerith, are you quite certain that this is necessary?"
He kind of gives a little wry smile, and he says, "Unless one of you want to take his place, I don't see anyone else here."
Would it not be prudent, as the leader of Targos, to lay down your own life? Surely that would be worth more than a simple traveler passing through.
That's true.
I understand that Lonelywood is offering up sacrifices of fish. So, and we were told that they were offering fish because it was the best that they had. It was the most valuable thing that they had. It seems to me that the most valuable thing here is you.
A self-sacrifice goes over very well with your own constituents.
He kind of chuckles at that. Make a persuasion roll, but
kill yourself.
He's just kind of he's like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you make a good point.
17.
Okay, he laughs. He's like, the words you speak are true, and Auril does demand the very best, but Targos survives on the back of its people. Its people are its most valuable resource. I just merely am a manager.
Yeah, but Kai hasn't contributed anything to Targos. He literally nothing.
Yes, he did. He contributed 20 gold pieces.
Oh, I guess that goes for a lot around here. Never mind. Fine. Continue.
The 20 gold pieces in your pocket? Should that not have gone to Auril?
Auril doesn't need treasure or coin.
So as I move up, where are those buckets of water?
They are on the platform.
Does it look like 2 of them are an arm's reach away?
From you?
Well, when I get up there, yes.
Yes, definitely yes.
Good. All right.
The guards walk you up the stairs. One goes up first, and then you go, and the other guard is behind you. You get up to the top of the platform.
Yes.
And the guard starts reaching down for the ropes. To the east, 4 men and Sefik Caltro appear, walking over the ice to come into the faint glow of the torches that are in the area. He looks at all of you and says, "Ha! Was I too late?"
Halt the sacrifice. Can we do that? Is that a thing? Can we...
Rules seem pretty lax around here. I think we're good to stop it for a sec.
This doesn't seem like you're on a timetable, a very specific timetable. Nerith, may we please parley with Sefik?
Very well. Remember, you have but what looks like about 20 minutes before the aurora disappears.
We will only need 5. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, team. We need to get over there and talk to him immediately.
What should we say? I'm so freaking lost, guys. I don't want to speak up.
And he starts walking down behind you.
Just, if we start attacking someone, just attack who we attack.
Oh, I can do that for sure.
Fang will turn to Nerith and say, "It appears that we have someone else that may be willing to take Kai's place at the pillar." And he'll turn his head real sharp at Sefik and he'll say, "Isn't that right, Sefik?"
He laughs and says, "Why do I need to be sacrificed? I'm already one of Auril's chosen."
It sounds like you're one of the best, then. That is what we previously spoke about.
So, who is accusing me of being this killer?
I'm just gonna raise my hand in the background. Yoo-hoo!
And as you put your hand up, one of the guard puts a loop of rope over it and tightens it really tight over your wrist.
Hell, we're in the middle of something. Give me a break, man.
Trax is gonna kind of, as everyone else is dealing with Sefik, I'm gonna kind of move my way towards Kai a little bit.
Okay. Backing up.
Yeah, while everyone's focused elsewhere.
Is this my accuser? What is your name?
Kai Raiju.
You don't look like much.
That's what we've been trying to say.
That's what we've been trying to say? That's so freaking rude. What?
What evidence do you have against me? Why should I put myself up for sacrifice?
It's your ice knives guy.
He makes a valid point. We don't have... the evidence we have is circumstantial.
I don't have knives. I have this. And this ice sword appears in his hand. And the guards kind of around you, Kai, kind of like start shaking a little bit. And they start like looking around and they're like, Auril?
No, what? It's pile of tricks. You're afraid of that?
Fang will sign as this is all happening. He's taking his rings off of his pinkies. He takes his mace out off his belt, and he puts the rings in the mace, and then locks it up tight, and he keeps it in his right hand, kind of getting loose, cracking his neck a little bit.
Yeah. I tell you what, Kai Raiju, why don't we both get sacrificed? See who is Auril's true chosen.
You keep throwing around that word chosen. And, I gotta say, it's not completely unfamiliar to me. You see, people have thrown strange rumors around, and I never really believed any of them, but this has honestly made me a bit curious. And since I've been up here, there's no reason not to believe it. So, Kai's gonna reach over and grab one of the buckets of water. And just dump it on himself.
Ugh.
Oh, brilliant.
You see Sefik just get the biggest, most evil grin, like enjoying every second of this. And as you watch the water drip over and start to freeze over Kai, you notice that it's freezing, but he doesn't look harmed. He looks fine.
Well, he's tougher than he appears.
Wait, now I'm confused.
And Sefik starts walking up in between you. Brother! He shouts. Come here. I wish to hug you. He's got his arms, his sword held up in his right hand as he comes in, his arms outstretched. The guard's kind of like looking back and forth and completely confused by this whole situation.
I'm going to slowly walk down, and as I pass my pants, I'm going to put those back on.
Please do.
And as I walk past Scath, I'm going to...
Who you notice has made kind of like a strategic flanking maneuver and is off to the side currently.
As I kind of walk, I'll make a wide circle as I get my pants back on and stuff, and I'm going to just whisper to him, I wanted to save this for you. And then I'll continue back around through my party members, and I'll check out these guys, kind of give them a look as I come around, and I'll stop right in front of Sefik.
Okay.
Trax just has his notebook out. He's writing everything down. He's like, yes, all right.
Sefik is giving you the once over. Very well. And Sefik goes up. You have proven yourself worthy of Auril's love. And he goes up to the platform. And the sword disappears. And he holds his arms out. Sacrifice me.
Oh, wow, that was easy.
What? That was it? The whole time? I'm still lost. I there's no conclusion here. What?
You know what? I'm sorry I insulted your intelligence earlier. I am completely lost.
Dude, thank you, dude. We can smoke about it later if you want.
Deal.
First, admit to the murders.
Very well. Anyone who takes what belongs to Auril should be destroyed. Anyone who is chosen must live up to that name. Otherwise, I will take what is rightfully Auril's. I did it. I am the killer.
Trax just has a little tiny device out that he puts back into his bag.
And the guards go up and they start putting ropes on him and tying him to the pillar. What do you do?
I'm going to start redressing.
Okay. Dump the water on me. Do it. And the guards start splashing water. And there's lots of buckets, and they start just the water starts hitting them, and it's so cold. You know how like those Russian videos where they have the boiling water and they just throw it into the air and it just immediately freezes.
Turns into a mist.
This is what it's just hitting him and freezing and sticking, and suddenly it covers his face. And after they're done, there's about 2 or 3 inches of ice, and you can see his form behind it. The guards who came with Sefik are kind of confused by all of this and are grouping up.
What's Scath doing? What's his body language?
He is wary, ready for anything, but he's also watching Kai because there's some sort of connection between Sefik and Kai. He's trying to play. He's basically watching a tennis match. What's going on? But he's quiet, he's got his sword out, and he's ready to move. You look up at the speaker, and he's enjoying this. Very much enjoying this. This is very interesting.
Sadistic fool.
What do you do?
I'm going to go up.
Does Sefik look unperturbed, or is he frozen solid at this point?
You can't. It looks like he's frozen solid. You can't really. There's not maybe 3 or 4 inches of ice. Mm-hmm. It's freezing to the mound of ice behind him, so he's stuck.
Trax is going to go over to Kai and kind of pull him, tug on his sleeve, pull him down, and say, "What trick are you on about, Kai?
What do you mean?
It simply can't be that simple."
Well, let's just say there goes the joint birthday party.
Trax is just kind of dumbfounded. Huh?
The captain's what does that mean?
Okay, look. You remember that spiel that Sefik gave us about being born on the midwinter holiday?
Yes.
Yeah, so was I.
Oh.
So
that grants you the same Arctic abilities as Sefik?
Well, I can't make an ice sword, but I started noticing when we got up here that the The cold never really bothered me.
Never bothered you anyway.
This is incredible.
Well, it's a lot cooler now.
Trax just
And you hear a crack coming from the ice. And you look back and you see this bright 2 beams of light coming out from his head, from Sephic's head. And suddenly, the ice cracks, and suddenly this white mist comes out, moves and lands right in the middle of Kai, Trax, and Fang, the sword in his hand. It's like he misty stepped over there. Roll initiative.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. How do you like yell out a god's name? I guess say
Hell, your god.
Torm.
Torm.
Oh,
Okay.
Pick one.
We'll just pick a different one each time.
Mutt,
15.
15. Kai,
18.
Trax,
21.
Fang,
A gentleman's 7.
Hey.
Donar.
Also 21.
Nice.
Jesus fuck.
Sephic, in his misty step form, goes through the air, materializes right behind Kai, and draws the sword. That is a 10, and he strikes again, a 16 on the second attack.
Both miss.
Interesting. Okay, Donar.
Donar does not know how to strategize, but boy does know how to attack. So he's going to march right up to Suffolk, recognizing the threat, and he's going to swing his great club. And when he swings his great club, he does like a low to high diagonal.
Diagonal.
You know, diagonal.
Come at him
A
perpendicular.
diagonal. Well, that's canon now. That's how he says the word diagonal. He does a diagonal smack upside the head with his great club.
Okay, roll to hit.
That's a 15.
15 does hit.
Hell yeah.
He's just wearing a shirt and a vest. He's kind of
What an
cocky.
idiot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So roll your damage.
All right, that is going to be 9 bludgeoning damage.
Use your martial arts.
And he's going to go for a leg sweep trying to knock this guy down.
Sweep the leg.
Okay,
That is going to be a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
All right. So that's going to do max damage, 6 damage. And he's going to get down
Okay.
and not very gracefully breakdance with his left leg, try to knock this guy down.
Trax, your
All
turn.
right, since he just kind of misty stepped in front of us, Trax is going to be surprised and just. So I'm flavoring my firebolt as a setting on his gun that he has, his little pistol. And it's going to just be kind of like a Roman candle kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to see Sefik pop up and say, helm! And he is going to shoot a firebolt, surprisingly surprised at him. But I think, I just have to make sure. I have pack tactics. So I think I get advantage because I'm next to he's around other people. So let's see.
Yep. So, yeah, somebody's within 5
I'm
feet.
glad that he does, because that first one sucked. The second one was a natural 20!
Hey, baby!
Hey.
First combat, natural
Hey.
20.
All right, that's going to be
Yeah, it was.
8. Such a huge amount of damage.
Kai, it's your turn.
All right. So what we're gonna do is pull out another dagger out of my pack, and we're going to try to jam it right in his abdomen. That is a 9.
That will be a miss.
Dang it. So I miss, and just following up with it, I'm going to use martial arts to bonus action, open hand, hit the side of his ear to try and disorient him. That's a 17.
That will hit.
For a massive 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Level 2.
He's been hit a lot this round, and he's kind of like, ugh,
Yeah.
like being shook left to he's like all around him, and he's just getting
Rocking
run.
him, we're rocking him.
Yeah.
Baby.
Maybe
Okay.
wear more than a jacket, you dumbass.
Tell
Okay.
him, Drax.
The tribal warriors run and engage and they don't engage, but they basically go up, form a line, and hold their spears out. And the bandits are kind of just standing there. Should we help? This is strange. They're not quite getting involved yet.
They've created a barrier.
They're not fighting each other.
They're not engaging. They're holding actions, basically. because you know that everybody knows Targa's caravan, that people buy things from them. They don't want to piss them off too much.
They want to represent the brand.
Down to Mud.
Get in on this.
So busy. What's Scath doing?
Nothing right now. He got a bad roll.
And you're like keeping an eye on Scath. Fucking Scath.
So Mud is going to see that the rest of the party is on Sefik, and I think he is going to decide it's a better decision to keep his eye on the rest of the crowd. So I'm going to hold an action with my... I'll just keep it as staff for now.
Okay.
If anybody gets within range of me or the party, if I can reach it, I guess.
So you just kind of stand there, readying if anybody comes close to it.
I'm still... my reasoning for that is he's still trying to hold the old man bit as long as he can. Hopefully he can get in a lucky hit from it.
Got it. Okay. The bandits, they all have scimitars, and they're kind of just sitting there twirling them, wondering what's going to happen, holding action. The speaker's bodyguard stands protectively in front of him, and Scath walks up and holds an action and is watching Kai. Fang.
Fang is caught very off guard by that misty step. It surprises the hell out of him so much that instinct kicks in, and Fang shifts.
Oh yeah!
As a bonus action.
Nice.
When he does, his hair that he like tries to control back and straight back in a tie, oftentimes just comes loose and kind of like sits up and back like he's on his haunches or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
His mouth gets wider like a hyena's mouth, and his posture goes down a little bit, and he just kind of immediately starts drooling.
I like to think that we
and
pause
then-
for like a minute to watch you do this like drawn out like American Werewolf in London style, like you're on the ground. Like,
Beauty and the Beast transformation.
Writhing in agony.
you're like, hang on, he's
It
shifting.
It is actually unnervingly quick how it happens. How it just kind of like, and he just kind of immediately instinct kicks in, and then as an action, will take the mace that he has in his hands and give a real big swing from underneath. But as he does, he gives a that's like a very different voice, much more gritty and deep than what everybody's used to. That's gonna be a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
That's gonna do max damage, 9
Hey.
points.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Sefik is bloodied, which means he's at half hit points. But you see him, you actually look at him, and the wounds that you're causing, there's no blood. You see like tears in his skin where the wounds hop, and you see his flesh is just crystallized. And you see this kind of glow in the blue of his eyes. And he kind of, it's his turn, top of the round. And he looks at you. Bonus action Misty Steps 30 feet away, and two ice daggers appear in his hand, and he throws them at Trax.
Oh.
As you're watching, the wounds start to kind of knit together, freeze together, like he's healing in the icy cold air. Okay, Trax. These daggers come at you. Okay, that is a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and the second dagger is a dirty 20.
That definitely hits.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, the daggers made of ice into your body. You take 5 points of piercing damage from the first dagger, plus 7 points of cold damage.
Oh,
Yo, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be done.
Okay,
no.
the second dagger does 5 points of piercing.
Yep, I'm down. He just threw his daggers at my tiny, poor, defenseless self.
Donar, your turn.
Seeing Trax go down, Donar's gonna let out a, yo, fuck you! He's so little. Why is that fair? How's and I know he's in front, but how's that fair? And Donar is going to, man, he's a long way away, but I have 40 feet of movement, so Donar's gonna hightail it
Nice.
over to old Sephic.
Well, that's like two characters with 40 feet of movement.
We fast.
Yeah, man.
Around.
We fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get it right up in his face, and I'm going to swing diagonally with my great club again.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Hell yeah, for a nice 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh. Okay.
And then as a bonus action,
Avenge me.
I'm going to unarmed strike, going for a stomp on the foot this time.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That is
comedy.
12 to hit.
It hits.
It does hit. Hell yeah. So
Yeah, your heel just lands right into the arch, like the top part of his foot. You hear like an icy crunch.
Oof. For
Roll your damage.
a nice 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
He just kind of looks at you as you drive your heel, like he didn't feel it.
Oh, you're gonna
And now
freaking
that-
feel the next one, friend.
Okay. Anything else?
Nah, I'm gonna stay in his face.
Tracks. I need you to make a death saving throw.
Here we go. Oh my god, here we go.
Let's go, bud.
Oh, natural 20.
Hey.
Yeah.
You pop
Hey.
up. You have 1 hit point.
Yes.
There we
Suddenly,
go.
Tracks.
Oh my god.
Never seen that happen before.
That was terrifying.
Tracks. So you're up. You're prone. You're prone on the ground.
I'm gonna stand up,
Okay.
visibly shaken, and I'm going to cure wounds for 9 points of healing.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Anything else, Tracks?
No, that'll be it for me.
Kai.
I'm going to start running, also with 40 feet of movement, towards Sephic, and I'm going to yell as I go, Donar, get down!
I will if I can.
And as soon as his head drops, I'm going to throw out another dagger at Sephic. That's a 10.
Well, the warning seemed to give Sephic enough time to duck as well, so it goes over his head.
And
You'll have to try harder than that, chosen one.
then I'm going to continue on, and with a foot on Donar's back, I'm going to leap off and rising knee kick right into Sephic's face. That is a dirty 20.
That hits.
And that's going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I imagine this is something we've done before.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, plenty of times. In class,
Okay.
at recess.
Who's over there? Mud? You see beyond the... Because you're kind of watching everybody else. You see kind of in the back, silhouetted from the aurora, you see a dwarf standing on top of a hill watching.
Do I recognize the dwarf? Does it look like a shape that
It's
we've
hard to
met
tell.
before? Okay,
It looks like possibly Torga from the
cool.
Merchant's Caravan. Mud, your turn.
All right. Hearing what has happened behind me, Mud is going to immediately drop the old man act, turn around and run 30 feet. And as he's running, he's going to kind of spin his staff just once very quickly. And by the time it's done spinning, the blade is on the end. He's gotten so good at pulling the blade from his pack and sticking it to the end. And then once he gets to his max 30-foot range, he's going to just lunge with his Yakowa.
What's the range
10 feet.
on 10 feet? You can hit.
That
you
comes
can,
with
you
the
can
blade.
strike him.
Badass old
Yeah.
man.
So cool.
Having a weapon with reach is really handy when it comes to tactical combat.
16 to hit
That hits.
and 11 damage.
You just hear him laughing. And you see like gaping holes in his body as his vest is just sort of like hanging open from the weapon strikes against him. And he doesn't look like he was alive to begin with. You're not sure how he's actually up and moving.
Wait, is Kai dead too?
What are you?
Auril's true chosen one. The bandits are kind of freaking out a little bit and back the fuck up. And you see Sephic's eyes glowing white now through the blue. There's a little bit of a blue gleam. And it's white fire coming from his eyes. Captain... Actually, no, he's going to get right here. Kai, you can do it. Finish him. And it is Fang's turn, I believe. Yes.
Fang will see that the bandits have kind of recognized that they're in over their heads. He'll turn to them and, drooling, he will say, he'll yell to them, "You will run if you know what is good for you!"
Oh, shit.
He will, after that, take his full movement 30 feet, which will get him right next to Sefik.
Nice.
He lunges in, and as a bonus action, will use his long tooth feature and take a bite out of Sefik. That's gonna be a 15 to hit,
That hits.
and less damage, but it's gonna be 4
Okay.
piercing. After that, he'll take his action to same thing with his mace, and he's a little rabid at this point, and he takes the mace and swings it pretty erratically and seems to speak another language, and in his gravel he says, "Unist," and that is a 21 to hit.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's gonna be 9 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. You see him as the mace kind of like dislocates his jaw a little bit and it's just kind of hanging open. And he's like, but it's like he can't quite form the words anymore. But then you see the skin start to knit together from the cold as he heals again. Then he misty steps right next to Trax and drives the sword through him. Strikes once, rolls a 19.
That's
Okay. 8 points of slashing damage.
I'm probably gonna be down.
And then you take, again, 5 points of cold damage.
Yep, I'm down.
Oh, no.
And with the second attack, as you fall, he strikes you and does you have a one failure on your death saves. Stay down. Auril demands a sacrifice. And it is Donar's turn.
Pissed at what Sifik has done, Donar's gonna hightail it over. And when Donar runs, he's got this like weird high knee thing happening, and his elbows are all over the place. It's clear he does not know how to use his body. So he's gonna full force run towards Sefik and try to tackle him and grapple him to the ground. And that's just a strength check, yeah?
It is an opposed. He can make a dexterity or athletics, and you make an athletics to grab him.
Gotcha.
And whoever gets the higher roll wins
Hell yeah.
the contest. I have a 14.
I've
in
got
athletics.
a 21.
Yeah! So you just kind of go up and like wrap your arms around him. And he's like, "Ugh." Okay. And as you're like close to him, you can like smell the decay on his body now that you're really up on him. And it's just like you just see the ice crystals and the way it like just knitted through his skin, holding him together.
Well, that's freaking creepy. As a bonus action, I'm going to spend a key point, my first,
Yeah,
to do
Nice.
big moment.
Yeah.
two unarmed attacks as
Okay.
bonus actions, and both of these are going to be stomps again. But I guess I would have grabbed him from the, or if he attacked Trax, I would be grabbing him kind of from the side back. Okay, so I'm gonna go for 2 stomps on like the back of the ankle, try to just limit any movement.
Okay.
So first, it's gonna be a 6 to hit.
6 misses.
Cool. Let's try it again. That's gonna
Sounded
be
so cool.
a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Awesome. So that's gonna do 5 bludgeoning damage,
5 bludgeoning. Okay.
and I'm gonna hold on tight to him.
Okay, Trax. Make a death saving throw. Do not roll a 1.
All right, here we go. It's a 10.
Okay.
0.
That's a success. 10's a success.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't remember. Okay, good.
But so you have 1 failure, 1 success. At 3 failures, you die. At 3 successes, you're back up. You're not dying. Okay. Kai Raiju's turn.
So Kai is going to again sprint 25-ish feet, I guess, over towards them. And as he gets to Sefik, he's going to power slide and kind of like slide against the snowy ground.
Nice.
And where Donar has him on the ground, he's just going to dagger right in Sefik's face.
Okay.
19.
That hits.
Finally. First sneak attack of the campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Hey, it's pretty good.
That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Your dagger comes down through his heart, and you hear, and suddenly, this white spirit slowly comes up out of Sefik's body and just hovers there, and you can kind of see a vague outline of a body just floating there. And then it fades away.
Oh God, I was afraid we were gonna fight a 2 health bar bad guy. This isn't my final form.
Kai just says, should have stayed on ice, and just hammer fists right back down on his face.
And you see his body just collapse as if it was just a hollow shell, and like the skin and like frozen dead muscle just collapse.
Donar from the ground is going to look up and say, dude, you say such cool shit like all the time. That was like the perfect kill line.
I got a journal. I'll show you.
No, please do. And Donar's going to hold up a hand from the ground and like a help me up kind of motion and offer no help.
I'll gladly, but I'm incredibly weak, so I'm just going to like, one too many.
Out of combat now, I suppose.
Out of combat, yes. Congratulations, you have won your first battle.
Thank God.
Fang,
However, Trax is still dying.
yes.
Oh.
So Fang is going to walk up to Trax, slowly bend down to one knee, still in his like kind of feral state, drooling over Trax a little bit, and he'll say, "Live, little one," and he's gonna put his hands on him and cast Cure Wounds.
Trax, you wake up and you open your eyes and you see Fang in his feral form drooling over you.
Gah!
How are you feeling?
Better, thank you.
And it gives him a pat on the chest, a little too hard, like as he stands up, still kind of hunched over.
Trax is gonna stand up, but he's kind of lost a little bit of that smartass kind of pompous attitude right now. He just looks kind of I don't know how a kobold looks sad. He looks sad.
You look over and you see that the captain has gone up. The speaker has come down off the hill, kind of motion for the captain to come over, and you see them talking softly. You can't hear what they say over the wind, and you see the speaker give something to the captain, and then the speaker and his bodyguard leave, and then the captain comes up to you all, and he's clapping. A sacrifice has been made. Kai,
We done here?
I'm really sorry to tell you this, but I cannot chop your head off anymore, even though I really wanted to.
Yeah, well, you saw what happened to that guy, too.
I'll be around in the town. If you need anything, come find me. Oh, Kai, come here. I want to speak to you.
I'm going to ready myself and take the dodge action just in case he tries some shit.
He takes you and he actually puts his arm over your shoulder and walks you away. Can I have everyone take off their headphones?
Oh,
except
shit.
for Kai.
Yeah.
So he takes you away where no one else can hear, and he says, "You can handle yourself. I could use a man like you.
Here?
Not in here, in the Dale.
Oh my god, man. It's terrible out here. Why do you live here?
The economy is robust whenever it's not being cursed. However," and he hands you a coin and like closes your hand around it, "the invitation is open." And with that, He walks away and kind of jogs to catch up with the speaker.
I'll look down at it, see what it is.
There's a gold coin. It's blank on one side. You flip it over, and it's a coiled snake with wings.
Huh.
You know exactly what this is.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pocket that and say nothing about it to anyone.
While Kai and was it Scath he was talking to?
Yes.
Are talking, Mud would go over to Trax and kind of pick him up and just not necessarily in a whisper, but really just to Trax, say, I know a novice when I see one. Was that your first battle?
Was it that obvious?
It was, but that is nothing to be ashamed of.
It wasn't my first ass kicking, if you know what I mean.
Well, be not afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. And then he'll just walk away.
For the first time, Trax doesn't have a snarky comment back. He just kind of nods.
Wow.
You look over and you see Kai walking back and the captain jogging to catch up to Speaker Nereth.
Donar's going to say, Kai, would you like to share with the group what the captain had to say, or is that a private endeavor?
Oh, he didn't want to say it in front of you guys because he didn't want to be embarrassed, but he just, he apologized for punching me in the nose and said that...
Fuck you, Kai! You hear in the distance.
Insight check.
Kai, make a deception or persuasion. You don't have to tell him. And Mud, make an insight check.
Whatever it is, it's an 8.
I got a 19.
Ooh.
I am not telling the truth.
I won't say anything about it.
Donar willingly believes everything.
Now that we're alone, Fang.
Oh, by the way, it's fucking cold.
Can we please get back to a tavern, please? I'd like to find Hiln as quickly as possible, and I'd like to crawl into bed.
Donar's gonna walk over to Trax and, without asking, just pick him up fireman's carry style and say, come on, little lizard bro, we can smoke about it. And to start walking back towards town.
I'm not gonna fight you.
I didn't think you can't do that. I saw you try.
Ha 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 ha, you're fucking hilarious.
On the walk, Fang pulls himself together, kind of like does a few breathing exercises, kind of slowly puts his hair, wraps his hair back and softens it down and stands up straight, like kind of has like a slow return back to normal and doesn't really make a show of it. And by the time they get back, he's wiped the drool off and he's back to friendly looking.
And you get to the front gates. Where are you headed to? It's after midnight. Everything is locked up.
Well, Luskin Arms?
Luskin Arms.
When we get there, I'm gonna see if Hiln's out.
Hilm's at the Three Flags City.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was going to say something, but I wasn't sure.
As we were walking, Mud would have mentioned that he did see a dwarf watching us that very well could have been Hilm.
The bandits who were in the battle seem to be running away toward her.
As we're heading into town, can I say, can we please stop by the Three Flags to see if Hilm is there? I'd like to be done with this quest of hers as quickly as possible.
Yes,
Fine
and
by
we
me.
we must also collect our bounty.
And I believe she owed me a favor.
I need a drink. It's been a long day.
Yes, let us haste to the Three Flags sailing.
You quickly get down to the Three Flags sailing. It's late. Most people, also the night of the sacrifice, most people just don't have it in them to go drinking or merrymaking. So there's a couple of people in there. One person actually passed out drunk. And Hilm's in there just kind of reading a book, actually, by the fireplace. And she looks up as you come in.
as we walk in, I'm going to toss her Trax is going to toss her a tiny little clockwork device as soon as he presses a button, and as it hits the table in front of her, it's going to play the confession that Sefik gave. It's a recording. It's a 6-second recording of the confession he gave of how he killed everyone.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's dope.
You hear Sefik's voice, I am the killer. And Hiln stands up. Do you vow that this is not some magic trick?
That is an actual recording of Sefik Kaltra, minutes before he was killed.
Edith, drinks! And she does her hand in a circle, and Edith brings over... Ethel brings over 2 rounds of drinks for everybody, and two waters for Mud. And she looks over at Kai and says, and you're alive.
Yeah, fancy that.
She reaches into her pouch, counts out 10 stacks of 10 gold coins, puts them on the table. Your bounty? Congratulations.
See, I really hate this part, but
it was 150, was it not?
I do believe it was, yes.
Oh.
We don't have a clockwork recording of it, but I assure you it was 150.
5 more stacks, and I'll let you all divvy that up however you may.
Can I insight check to see if that was intentional from her?
No, it was just Ron forgetting.
We can RP it.
Yeah, she says, make an insight check.
It's a choice.
A natty 1.
She looks a little embarrassed, so...
Hill, might I have a word with you in private?
Of course. And she takes you to the other side of the tavern.
I believe you spoke of potentially taking on a bounty from me if we completed your task.
That is true.
And he's going to take out the piece of paper with the elven man drawn on it, and he's going to say, I will give you 100 gold to give me the location of this man.
Do you know his name?
He might be going by a different name. I'm not sure. He most likely is eluding me. But try Farron.
Farron? And she takes out a notebook and starts writing down. Farron. Farren?
Correct.
What was his last known location?
The last time I saw him was in Luskin, but I heard rumor he was heading up here.
What kind of man is he? Bounty hunters need to know who they're tracking.
What kind of man is he? Well, he is cunning, he is smarter than he looks, and he will stop at nothing to keep us from reuniting, even though it is of the utmost importance that we do, for his sake as well as mine.
And here's the ultimate question to whether I will accept this bounty, this task. What did he do to you? Is this simple revenge? What did he do wrong?
And he's going to Trax is going to kind of lean in close and say, he took everything from me.
I need to know more.
He's going to kind of turn around, look to see if anyone's listening.
You can fade to black here if you want to keep this
I'll
private.
go ahead and fade. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fade to black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hiln and Trax go off in the corner and whisper for the next 15 minutes. And I'm just going to assume that she comes out of it. You see Hiln shake Trax's hand, and then she kind of comes over to the table and says, Sefik has been keeping me awake at nights, afraid of what he could do, who he would kill next. I'm glad you got the bastard.
I'm just glad we were right, because I was questioning everything the whole time, but everything worked out truly perfectly except for Trax dying twice.
He died twice?
Almost died. I'd rather not talk about it. Can I please have another drink?
Do
Please.
you want to smoke about it? Oh, we can smoke right now.
You know what? Anything that's going to help me sleep better at night.
Oh, I wish I could stay. I really need to get some sleep.
Do you want to puff before you go? Because it is medicinal.
I'll
and will
have
help.
one. It'll help me sleep. Yes. So she sticks around for a puff pass and
Yeah.
and then heads out.
Well, it appears our next step is up to us at this point. Kai, I am grateful that you have been spared. Though
I told you it would all work out.
there were moments where I was unsure, I must admit.
Come on.
I am impressed. And I am quite surprised by these icy abilities that you appear to have. That this is incredible. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, until I got here, I didn't either. You want to go get that moose?
I think I really got really Canadian there.
Yeah, no.
I heard moose and I went Canadian. I think that perhaps we can take care of two birds with one rock if we get there, and we can pursue the issues in the gemstone mine as well.
I am quite curious about what's happening in the mines there with the kobolds. I would like to speak to them if possible.
Well, we've
Then-
got nothing but time.
It does appear that Lonelywood is perhaps our next destination.
In the morning, we should also stop by Triglio's tavern to give the chewinga to the woman and receive.
And at the
our
word
money.
chewinga, suddenly the chewinga pops out of Fang's pocket.
Damn
Where
it.
were you keeping?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we still have that?
Literally just like tucked in my robes, like in a sash in my robes that he could nestle into, if that's where he was willing to stay.
He kind of like pops out. He goes, silently yawns, stretches, and kind of looks up at you.
Good morning, little one.
And he kind of like looks like scared at the other four in your group, and kind of nestles back into your robes.
Holding him against my chest, I look at Mud and I say, I am very willing to complete this task, for I do not believe that it is this fellow's destiny to travel the dangers of the 10 towns with us. But I do hope sincerely that she will not mistreat him or perhaps dismember him. I cannot bear to think. Do you know what she is willing to do with this?
I do not know, but I do agree that it is best we ask before handing over the creature. I too would prefer no harm to come to it, as mischievous as it may be.
I do appreciate this. Thank you, Mud. To Triglio's in the morning, and then to Lonelywood.
To Lonelywood.
Until
Let's
then.
sleep
Fine,
in just
fine.
like a little. I think we deserve like a couple more hours of sleep, though. It was so freaking early this morning.
A good rest has surely been earned.
So you head back to the Luskan Arms, to your individual rooms on the first floor. Kai, you actually get to sleep in your room for the first time. And no one's there but Owen. And he kind of like, good to see you alive, Kai.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
Donar, make me a shopping list.
Oh, dude, really? How much parchment do you have? Because you need a lot of shit.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
Talk to me in the morning. Just think about it. And he gives you a piece of parchment and paper.
On it.
Pencil.
I'll dream about spices just for you.
Nothing happens that night. The wind, it's cold. There aren't really fireplaces or anything warm in your rooms. There's blankets that are in each room, so each of you have to kind of bundle up to get through the night. But you wake up and the chill is upon your bodies, and it's just cold. What do you do?
Donar was dreaming about like roast chicken with root vegetables. So he's gonna spring out of bed, run downstairs, and just ad nauseum talk about all kinds of like basting and stock stuff with Owen.
Okay.
He didn't write a thing down. He wrote
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah, Owen's writing it down. Just so you know, it's important. Your rooms are on the first floor
Gotcha.
of the tavern. The speaker, there's some like nice rooms upstairs, and the speaker lives up there.
My special
But,
room was up there.
Mud has probably been up for a bit and just is like meditating on his bed or roll or whatever. And upon Donar's waking and shuffling out, it would snap him out of it. And he would reluctantly just go down also and start getting breakfast or,
Okay.
you know.
There's some people, fishermen, who are getting ready for the day, and they're sitting there eating some breakfast. It's not much. Again, if Owen's going to get his kitchen up to snuff, it's going to take some work. But they're sitting there talking, and you overhear them. Can I have you roll a 10-sider for me?
Me?
Yeah. No, Mud, actually.
Gotcha.
You're busy talking to Owen. You don't overhear anything.
And there's like fingerling potatoes and red potatoes, and I'm just talking about potatoes.
I got a 2.
You hear the fisherman talking about, I've got a sister who lives in Bryn Shander, and she heard that there's a group of dwarves there who will pay really good money to anyone who can find a lost shipment for them. And they're like, I'm making, times are hard. It's really, our catches are down. If I had it in me, I'd take him up on this, but I just don't want to leave Targos right now, man. And you hear them kind of talking about it a little bit, and you hear the other one start talking about his sister. And
Mud'll go check it out. That's something he can help with. He'll go over to the table. Is there room to sit or?
Yeah, there is. It's just like 3 guys, and they're just getting ready for the day.
Cool. He'll go sit down and couldn't help but overhear your troubles.
Well, it's not my troubles. It's some dwarves in Bryn Shander. My sister told me about them. They're going around asking for some help. I don't know much more about it, much more than that. But thank you, man. It's good to see survivors. It's I'm hearing all sorts of good things about you 5 people.
We are doing what we can while we are here to do it. Bryn Shander is which direction?
Bryn Shander is 2 hours away. It's a pretty well-maintained road.
Mud knows all the maps, so he would know that. He maybe just asked in a way that might get him to reveal any more sort of information if they would know about like how to get there safer or...
They basically tell you just don't travel. You're new to the Dale. Don't travel at night. Don't travel during a blizzard, and stick to the trails.
Thank you. I will pass.
Oh, and don't go onto any mountains. All this snow, avalanches are just dangerous. But you know that.
We do.
Hilarious.
He just gives him a deadpan stare and says, "We do." And then he'll leave the table.
So Trax is he's gonna finally make his way down,
Okay.
kind of a little bit more somber than usual. Just kind of, since he's only 2 feet tall, so hitting those stairs, he's kind of got to like thump, 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 thump.
Fang's not far behind. He comes down after Trax in a much better mood. Or I say down, he comes out and comes down the hallway after Trax, kind of like with a in his head, in his stride.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Good morning. How are we feeling today?"
Yo, Fang, right now, favorite kind of potato, tell everyone. We're talking about potatoes, and Owen's loving it.
Oh, I like a nice scalloped potato. When it's sliced and then it's got the cheese on it, and sometimes it's the
Fantastic,
cheese
delicious.
and,
Can we please move on
Russet.
to the giant white moose situation?
Yes, we have a long trip to Lonelywood today. Is there anything that we need for our journeys? How are we all feel? Are we hungry? Should we pack a meal, perhaps? Get a thermos to go?
Where's Kai?
That's true. We have
Look
not
around.
seen Kai this
is
morning.
not up yet. Yeah.
He must be hungover. I'll go get him. And I'll walk over. Trax will walk over to his room.
As they're down there, Mud will just relay the Bryn Shander shipment side quest to Fang and Donar.
There's a lot of gold being exchanged in this town. I do not think that should go unnoticed. Lots of bounty hunting, lots of gold to be had. It seems more important here than other places I have visited, which is nowhere.
You say a lost shipment. Did they say how it was lost?
No, the man had very little information to give, only that he had heard this from his sister, and that they were offering a large amount of money to retrieve the shipment.
Did you catch the sister's name, perhaps?
I did not. Looking for a friend, Bang.
No. This is not.
He's
what
flirting again.
This
Dude,
is
he's
not
flirting
what
and she's
I
not
meant.
even present. Dude, you're just so husky, man.
He gives a gruff, like kind of like a dog, through his nose, and with flushed cheeks, just sits in a chair, and is and says, "Should we perhaps just have a nice breakfast before we leave?"
Yeah,
That's
sure,
fine with me.
absolutely.
I'll go get Kai, and so we can get moving.
Owen brings out a plate of runny eggs.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Owen. Thanks.
Put a little cheese in it. It's all we had. So.
Oh, it's nice and funky. It sounds like it's been here for a while. Smells. Doesn't sound. You can't hear cheese. Cheese. That doesn't have to go in.
Trax, you had Trax, you head to Kai's room. Kai, what are you doing?
So when Trax opens the door, what he sees is a few small scrolls, like, spread out on the floor, kind of hodgepodgey, and amongst them is the gold coin that he was given. And Kai is currently inverted in a handstand, studying the scrolls. And he sees
Kai?
Trax walk in and is like, "Oh, are we ready?"
Kai, would you like to invert yourself and join us for breakfast?
"Oh, yeah." And he just pops up back onto his feet and starts rolling up the scrolls and everything and picks up the coin. Let's do it.
I'm gonna, as he starts to walk out, I'm going to stop him at the door, and I'm going to say, "Look, I'm not very good at this, but I know you stopped him, and I want to say thank you." And he's going to turn and just leave.
Kai just kind of strides into the room, feeling a little bit bigger, but he doesn't really live in it for that long.
So Kai and Trax join the three of you.
Good morning, Kai.
Morning.
How did
Kai,
you sleep?
favorite kind of potato. Oh, no, sleep.
my
Yeah,
God,
let's talk about that
Syria.
instead.
I don't know if you cut it into some long strips and fry it in some oil.
Oh,
maybe?
right, in like some peanut oil or
Yeah.
coconut oil.
Like nice and crispy.
Oh,
I
right,
prefer
yeah.
if you slice it really thin and then fry it up in some oils.
That's
Did
really
Oh,
good
did I
too.
mention the russet potato?
Yeah,
What
dude,
is this?
you guys
Where is
didn't
what
see
does
it?
russet mean? What do you?
It's a nice baking and mashing potato. It was so funny you missed it. Maud just said the word russet and nothing else, and I freaking peed myself. It happened like 15 minutes ago. It was the funniest shit. Mud's the funniest dude in this town, and no one knows it yet. We don't have to keep talking about potatoes, but I get excited. Mine is the purple ube. We don't have to linger on it.
This is definitely our
How did
breakfast
you sleep?
conversation. Like cheeks full, like hash browns.
You notice that Owen didn't charge you for the breakfast.
Hey, I guess sometimes you do get a free meal.
The day is yours. What would you like to do?
To the tavern, perhaps get this creature squared.
Yes, indeed, to Triglio's.
Okay.
Trax, would you like a passage in my arms or on my shoulders today?
I'll take the shoulders, thank you.
Alrighty. I'll scoop him up.
I prefer not to feel like an infant.
Oh, sure, but you're so little.
You walk out.
Oh, wow, thank you. Astute observation.
You walk out and you notice that the clouds that had dissipated for the sacrifice last night have come back, and it's actually looks like it's kind of starting to sprinkle snow, and it looks like the clouds are dark and heavy enough that it could be a heavier snow than what you've seen so far, except when you were coming down the mountain into the vale.
Let's just get to Triglio's as soon as possible.
Tracheoleos, let's do it.
Okay. Man, I screwed this up. Triglios is a general store. Okay, I'm going to make it a tavern and general store.
Yes.
Okay.
Two
Everyone's
different
going to make a little
Triglios.
money in this economy, you know?
Yeah.
They also sell
Alright.
souvenirs.
Yeah.
They're also an Uber.
But they can't take you anywhere because they're a building.
They're a building.
You head to Triglio's, and it's like a little small, like one side of it is like more like a coffee shop. There's like 5 little tables. They got a little like bar in the back with some drinks and sandwich type, like bread soups.
Someone's playing some jazz.
Yeah. And there's a scarecrow looking fellow who's behind the counter, and there's a couple of people in here. And behind him, through a door, an archway, you see a large general store. And he's got quite a bit of gear. Pretty much everything that's in the player's handbook.
How did we split up that gold? Did we discuss that? Sorry, guys.
No, you did not discuss it.
Maybe over breakfast, we would discuss that and make that happen. What's 150 split 5 ways?
30, baby.
30.
Sweet.
So welcome to Triglio's. How are you doing? And he waves. And you notice he's got like one hand kind of like close to his body. And you see that it's withered a little bit and like misformed. And he just kind of waves up with a smile. Name's Justin. Sorry, my name's Justin. It's Jestin.
Do not get
Name's
that
Greg.
out of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin is canon now.
Okay. My name's Justin Hunray. And I've heard about the survivors. How are you all doing?
Justin, great name. First off, love it.
We are well. We are looking for Danica.
Oh, she usually comes in for lunch. If you wait a little bit, I'm sure she'll be here soon. She comes in and reads and she sets up in the corner by the fireplace, and she's got her books all spread out and works on things. She should be here pretty soon. Can I help you with anything else while you wait?
What do you have for sale, I suppose?
Yes, Justin.
Well, pretty much everything. We just a usual general store merchandise, but I don't sell fishing gear and line and sails. There are specialty shops closer to the docks who get those stuff for the sailors, but everything else. I even have a small selection of weapons in the back too.
Got anything like this? And I pull out one of my kunai daggers and start twirling it around my finger.
If you could roll a 1 on a 20-sided dice, he might have one. That's close.
That's really...
Yeah, I've never seen that thing before. What does it look like? Like, describe it to.
Okay. If you've seen Naruto, it's the kunai knife that's kind of comes to a little point. It's triangular in shape and then
Could
has
Trax
a handle.
modify a dagger to look like that with his tools?
Possibly, yeah.
I'll say, wait, Kai, give me. Trax is just gonna hop up and grab it, and he's gonna say, I could probably make one of these.
Well, if you could, make a lot of them.
And then he's gonna kind of look at it, and he's gonna say, I have an idea. May I keep this?
Sure, but I would love to have it back.
He's
at
already
some
walked
point.
off. As soon
Oh,
as it's
God.
sure, he walks off and starts tinkering with it.
All right.
What kind of weapons do you have? I'm always fascinated with different areas, means of defense.
I have leather all the way up to splint, I believe, armor, and we have a few shields, a few bows and arrows. We also have long sword, short sword, daggers. I think we have a halberd back there, but we have a little small selection. It's very general. It's in the name, general store.
Like a general store.
Yeah,
I would,
but nothing fancy.
It's not a complex store.
love a dagger to keep from my time here in Targos.
Oh, I can definitely get you a dagger. Yes. And he goes to the bag and pulls out, like, he has like a brace of like daggers, and they have different shaped hilts in different decorations. Some of them are wrapped in different colors of leather.
Mud would pick the one that he thought like looked the coolest.
Okay, it'll be 2 gold pieces.
Excellent. Mud will give him 3.
Oh, a tip, thank you. Fishermen here, they don't like the tip. Definitely do not like the tip.
Mud will make a joke.
Anything else I can help any of you with? And right there, the door opens, ding ding, and Danica, all curly hair, curly brown hair, and she has her princess fur hood up over her head, and she pulls it down, and the snow kind of falls off that in the cape, and she's like, Tortle, Dodar, hi.
Is this the woman that drew you?
Hi, my name is Danica.
As she introduces herself, Fang kind of like subconsciously puts his hand over where the Chewinga is in his robes, just like as a protective stance.
Danica, Mud's now playing up that old man that he was doing last time he met Danica. Good to see you again. We are still looking for your what were they called?
A Chewinga.
Yes.
A wee little elemental spirit.
Those. We're having trouble finding one, despite the help of the lantern. What should we look for? What do you plan to do with them when we find?
I want to observe them. They're so hard to find. I need to see how they react in different weather conditions. I would never harm one. They're such beautiful
Insight
lights.
check.
Yeah, make an insight check.
I will also insight check.
And she starts saying like, watching these little wee elemental spirits play and mimic mankind. It is just one of the most beautiful things. You actually see tears kind of coming.
I got a 12.
12.
Trax isn't going to insight check, but he's just going to say, that's good enough for me. Hand it over.
What? And she kind of like, I was just, you didn't trust me? She looks at Trax.
This is the first I've met you. I don't know anything about you. I'm just, bye. I'm going to walk away.
She looks at Donar. It's like, you trusted me, didn't you?
Donar hasn't said anything because he doesn't know how to talk to her because he thinks she's kind of cute. So he's gonna like, trust is a weird thing.
Trax is gonna walk back and say, "Oh, this is the woman you said tally ho to."
Well, you freaking.
Sorry, Danica. Pleasure to meet you. A tally ho, and I'm gonna walk back.
Nice to meet you. So you have one?
Fang steps forward. Sorry, he steps forward at the question, and without taking the Chewinga out of the robes, he steps forward and says, "Forgive me. This is not a matter of mistrust. It is a matter of we have found a friend in this little guy," and I will pull him out gently and say, "And I just sincerely hope for his well-being." And I, with the sincerest eyes I can, I will say, it truly is nothing personal. I hope that he will be happy."
Danica just like gets this big grin, but you see the tears are kind of welling up again, and she's like, he's so cute, he's so beautiful. How did you catch him?
It was not easy, as he looks at the rest of the group.
Yeah, right. It's freaking difficult as shit.
We lost 2 others catching this one.
I'm sure there's lots more around, but one will do. All I need to do, I promise I'm not going to harm a single hair on its head, whatever that little coat. Little coat is so cute. How do you get that coat? She starts kind of baby talking to the Chewinga, and the Chewinga's like, and he kind of like looks up. Danica's like doing a little tickle under the chin, and the Chewinga, you can feel it kind of relaxing in your grip, Fang. And Fang, he kind of gets up on like tries to get out of your grip a little bit, not really struggling, but just like an animal or wanting to get down.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
He like goes up and kind of goes up and looks at Danica and like bobbles. Well, you make the cutest little noises. And Danica kind of like does this, and the Chewinga pops into, and she's just holding her hands out flat. And the Chewinga pops into Danica's hands and stands there. And Fang, the Chewinga turns around and looks at you, takes a strand of the fabric that's wrapped around it, and takes a bit of its material that it's made of, kind of like this tree bark looking stuff. And he takes it and twists it, and he puts it around, and he makes this little necklace, and there's a little bit of a ring. The material looks like it's the form of a little tiny house. And it looks like a necklace, but actually it'll fit on your wrist.
Okay,
and
that's cute.
Because it's so small. But he hands the Chewinga hands it to you and shakes it.
And I bend down and he says, "For me?"
And nods his head.
And
excitedly.
Big meaty fingers, he'll reach out and take it as gingerly as he can, nodding his head and say, "Thank you so much, thanks."
And the Chewinga looks at the other 4 people in the party and goes, and then
feelings mutual there.
And then hops on Danica's shoulder.
Are they dangerous creatures?
No, they're just more mischievous. They tend to steal little trinkets, and they can make things move because they're so wee and tiny that sometimes it looks like things are moving on their own. Fang, you kind of get this, pretty sure this is a charm of some sort. Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Nice +0 on Arcana, so this is just a raw roll.
Mm-hmm.
13.
13, that's enough. You've heard of these. This is a charm of the Traveler's Haven. This charm has, and it should be in D&D Beyond, this charm has 3 charges. As an action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to cast Leomund's Tiny Hut spell.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That's awesome.
No components required. Once all of the charges have been expended, the charm vanishes from you.
So I kind of know that as he hands it to me.
Yes.
Then my gratitude is deeper than just a thanks. He holds out like a finger to kind of like take his hand, but his hand is obviously way too big, so he holds out a finger, and he says, "My little friend, it has been a true pleasure to share the road with you. I wish you the best."
And the Chewinga jumps off of Danica's shoulder and like gives you a hug best it can around your neck.
Oh, okay. Here, take him before I cry.
And Danica takes him and says, "Thank you, Donar Mud."
Yeah.
She kind of like puts the Chewinga on her shoulder, and she reaches into her robe and pulls out a bag with 25 gold pieces in it and hands it to you.
Oh,
as promised.
Do you need your lantern back? And Mud will pull out.
No. I can give it enough time. I can make another one. You'll need it, I'm sure, in your travels. There's so many snow creatures out there. You know, I'm sure you might need it in the future. Keep it.
Thank you. Your kindness seems to know no bounds.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I need to get work because, you know, if I study, my whole goal studying this Chewinga is maybe I could figure out how to stop the everlasting Rime by studying elementals.
This is an interesting hypothesis.
I mean, it's only the germ of a theory, but I promise I won't harm the little guy.
Trax is going to yell from the back, say, "Hypothesis, that's a big word for you, Fang."
I learned it
He's gonna
from
kind of be
you.
smiling.
You need anything, I'll be around. Thank you. And she looks at Donar. Thank you.
Right, yeah, no, it's I really helped a lot. I so easy to catch. I'm gonna actually kill you. If you ever need like a hot meal, just let me know. A hot one, and he's gonna walk away.
I hear his sweet rolls are to die for.
All right, if we're done with show and tell, can we please make our way out of town?
Mud will divvy up the 5 gold as we're all turning around, or 5 gold each.
She goes into the corner by the fireplace, puts the little guy in a little chair, and you see him grab like a fork and start pretending to eat.
Oh,
You know, I'm sure most of you find that cute. I find it slightly unnerving.
I find you
also-
slightly unnerving.
Also, Kai, here, I fiddled around with your dagger, and I think I made some minor improvements to it. And he's gonna hand you, it's the dagger, and as he kind of like it's got a strap now next to it, and as if you pull it, you'll see that there's a little tiny razor thin wire. And he says, if you throw this and you quickly tap on the strap, it should retract back towards you.
And I fling it out. And ha! Nice.
So yeah, it's now a dagger of returning.
Ooh.
Neat.
Shout out
also-
MP
it also
number 6.
Packs a slight punch to it.
I love it. Thanks, Trax.
It's some gratitude for last evening.
Hey, we're all square.
So Justin comes up and says, anything else I can help you? Anything else I can help you with?
No, I
Something
think
for the road?
you have been most hospitable.
Come back and shop anytime. On the first of every month, we have coffee.
Trax is gonna whip back around and say, "I'm sorry. You have caffeine."
The first of every month. It's currently the 16th.
We will be back in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
What is caffeine?
Oh, it's going to put the pep in your step. You might actually be moving at a normal pace.
It's like the opposite of alcohol.
My speed is 30, thank you very much.
And what would you like to do?
I think that we should head straight for Tourmaline and hard left to Lonelywood.
Let's go get this moose.
Okay.
Let's get this moose.
So you take off and you head about an hour and you get to you can see it on the Targos map where the fork in the road, one part goes to Bryn Shander and the other like curves to the northeast to Tourmaline. And you get about 3 miles outside of town and the snow begins to fall and it starts to build and it gets a little slower and suddenly wind, snow as thick as it was during the avalanche starts falling. And that's where we'll end for the evening.
Oh,
we're
no.
Stuck out in
This shit
another
again.
Someone just told us to avoid these.
Thank you to Wizards of the Coast, and thank you to Syrinscape and the Monument Studios for the music. And everyone, have a wonderful time, wonderful week, and stay frosty.